The OLGs, child, episode 2. That Philip is really something else. He really is, but you know what? I see through him. It's one thing to be professional. I appreciate a professional person, but he is. There's more to meet the eye when it comes to Philip, but he might actually get a black eye before anybody, feels empathy for him or is even interested in hearing his story. Because you just cannot go around being nasty, sarcastic, rude, arrogant to everybody you come across. Like, you just can't do that. And I don't understand where that, like, really comes from. It's not confidence, it's arrogance. And usually, arrogance is just a cover up for a person that is really insecure. Um, or it's some air, it's something that he's trying to conceal. He is very professional, which is great, right? You need a very professional, stern person. But what he's missing is he's not personable at all. You can't as a new person come in being rah rah rah. That's not what happens after because these people are family now. This is a family show. The coworkers are family. And so you cannot come in here as an outsider trying to tell people what to do and then you do it in a nasty way, in a rude way. That's just not going to work. At least try and get to know the people. I understand you not being wanting to be close to your coworkers. It gets messy. I understand that. I don't be that close to my coworkers. But it's just a way to do it. It's just all about how you say things and timing, and ultimately you all have to work together. If everybody, you are in charge, Philip, but if everybody walk out on your ass, what you gonna do then? From you and your attitude. Then it's gonna be your ass up for grabs, because they're gonna be like, oh well, why did everybody quit because of you? That's when Kandi and Todd gonna come in and they'll have a conversation with you. So you still need to be able to know how to work well with people. It's simple. They didn't teach you that. You're so professional and stuff, but you don't know how to work with people at all, Philip. It, child. Philip has a boyfriend. They showed in this episode. Named Felipe. He's in a long distance relationship. I'm assuming that's because of Felipe, because don't nobody want to deal with Philip 24/7. And of course he would get with somebody that don't speak English fully, so that he can still run the show, and he just smile at every damn thing he say because he don't know what the hell he's saying. So it's just somebody he can control a little bit. Child. I know people like Philip, you know. But him saying, but he went through a very traumatic experience with him losing his mom. He said a year ago. So I'm sure that took a toll on him. And I think that maybe something, when you go through something traumatic like that, something heartbreaking like that, something unfortunate like that, it changes you. And so maybe, it's possible that, his mom's passing really kind of made him feel some kind of way, about life and stuff. So I'm interested in hearing Philip's story and getting to know him more. But Philip, you just can't talk to people like that, sir. You just can't. Somebody gonna tear your ass out the goddamn frame. I mean, you look like you can fight, so hopefully you can. But everybody don't have nothing to lose, child. Especially down here the old lady game, because our good sis Chandrika is saying that they're making more at Family Dollar than what they're making at the old lady game. So I mean, one day they're gonna throw their hands up and say fuck it, because I can make more money somewhere else. And on the way out the door, that somebody gonna pop you in your eye. I'm just saying. I hope it don't happen, sir. But you is not likable, Mr. Phillip. You are not. So Brandon and Dominique, they went out on a date. They're a beautiful couple. I really hope they make it. They were talking and stuff. She's talking about the fact that she's a dancer. She wants to be one of Beyonce's dancers one day. And I saw some of her videos. She can absolutely dance. She got it. And but she's working. Her working at the restaurant takes a lot of her time, of course. Um, and Brandon, he's definitely seems to be all into her. When they got up, he tried to kiss her, and she blocked his mouth off like that. I was like, good girl. She was like, child, you ain't getting nothing on the first date. You ain't getting no kiss on the first date. Who you think I am? I loved it. So we meet two of Kandi's cousins. We have Patrick, Kandi's little cousins. We have Patrick and Melvin. Melvin works in the kitchen as the cook, the head chef, and Patrick works in the parking lot. He's making sure everybody's parking and good, and they $10 to park at the old lady game, etc., etc. Valet is what you call it. They stay together. They're actually cousins, but they grew up as brothers. Their grandmother is Aunt Bertha. Um, Aunt Bertha has a son and a daughter. The son, Aunt Bertha's son is Melvin's father. Aunt Bertha's daughter is Patrick's mother. Okay. So I'm assuming it's Patrick's mother's Kim. Is that Patrick's mother Kim? I'm assuming. We met Kim, another one of Kandi's cousins, and also Weenie. We've seen Weenie before. Kim is Aunt Bertha's daughter. And apparently there was a falling out between Mama Joyce and Kim. Way back in the day, apparently, Kim had threw her hands up and she was over the restaurant. She was working there at one point. Apparently, Mama Joyce overheard over the phone, or she was there, that Kim, she was upset, yelling and cussing, and she also said that who else want to leave? Who else want to leave with me out the restaurant? And so then Mama Joyce jumped in because old lady gang is, a part of her, and Kandi is one of the owners of old lady gang, and Mama Joyce is always in something. So then, apparently, according to cousin Kim, she said that Mama Joyce said that this is my MF restaurant, and that it's just technically not, but she's one of the it was branded after her and her sister, so she feels like this is my place, my picture out here on the wall, and all this kind of stuff. So and so that was the whole thing. Kandi got Aunt Nora, Aunt Bertha, Mama Joyce, cousin Weenie, cousin Kim. Anybody else? I think that was it. All together to try to sit down and have a conversation. Aunt Nora, which is the sweet one, she actually got up and was getting ready to fight Kim, child, because of what happened. And Kim was irritated with Aunt Nora because she wasn't even there. She didn't even know what happened. Aunt Nora just automatically took Mama Joyce's side, and so it was messed with that. They was getting ready to fight once again, child. Aunt Nora got up and talking about, let me get her. I said, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Right after that, they all ended up eating chicken, and they were fine. They were back a family. Lovely. Let's see. So, Chandrika, she decided to get the crew together to go out for drinks and stuff after work. They invited Philip. This is also when we see Brian again. Everybody likes Brian. At one point, he during quarantine, he was drinking a lot and stuff, and now he's working on his sobriety, and good for him. But everybody said yes to going out for drinks, to bring everybody back together to have a moment. Everybody said yes except for Philip. He was just like, they was like, oh, you don't want to go out for drinks? And Philip was like, not with you. And so, it's just, Philip, the more you continue to push them away, one day you're going to need them, and they're not going to be here for you. So I hope you're ready for that. All that ugliness is just spearing out whatever the word is. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. That you're escaping, I guess, out your spirit, that's gonna all come back on you eventually. And what you gonna do when nobody's here for you? Hun, you got this position and you just boop. When you give some people a position, they just boop straight to their head. They just straight lose it. Loco. Um, so they all went out to eat. It was Chandrika, it was Brian, Patrick, Torin, um, Dominique, and Brandon. They all went out to eat, and that's when Chandrika revealed that she is getting paid less than Family Dollar and less than minimum wage, actually working for OLGs. Patrick felt some kind of way because Kandi is his cousin, so he went back and told Kandi what Chandrika said. And she was just like, child, Chandrika ain't even there all the time. So what's going on? So I was just like, oh, God. See, that's the thing. You got to watch what you say when you're working. You know, so everybody's connected to somebody. You don't know who's working with who behind the scenes. You just don't know. So it's just best, unless you really, really trust a person, unless and they are unattached, so to speak, to said individual that you have a problem with, then that's when you can speak out about something. Other than that, just shut up. Because you don't know who's, in cahoots with people behind the scenes. There's so many times at work I just shut my mouth and don't say anything because I don't, we could be having a conversation, the same issue with somebody, but then you get back cool with them and you tell them everything that I said. When you was the one that started the conversation, you walked up to me. I was minding my business. You just gotta always have that question mark when it comes to people. Let's see. We found out that Brian and Torin had a situationship. They messed around a couple of times back in the day. Brian says that Torin is entirely too big for him to handle. Moving on. Let's see. I like them. Brian has his own food business. I mentioned that in the last video. He is a maker of soul food egg rolls, child, which I'm sure is good as hell. So, good for him. I would love to try one of his egg rolls. I gotta find him on Twitter. I gotta find these people on Twitter. I mean, on Instagram. Okay, so we went through that. Okay, so the last scene was Don Juan met up with Torin. Torin's back. He is the event planner, and they met up to talk. And he was telling him about what he wanted him to do, with the building and stuff, and to judge it up, help out, and Don Juan and him being stern and all that kind of stuff. He actually really cares about a lot of these people. They've been working together for years, I'm sure. So anyway, Torin decides to go into the other building. Don Juan told him to go in there. That's when you set up. So who's in there is good old Philip. He came in, spoke to Philip. Philip was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Hey, I'm fine." And then Torin was just like, "Yeah, Don Juan told me to come in here to do this, da 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 da." Very much so talking as if he would assume that Philip knew that he was coming. But apparently Philip didn't know that he was coming or that Torin was even hired. Because otherwise I don't think he would have been talking to Torin in the way that he was talking to him. So Philip asked Torin to come down there to talk to him because, it's like a higher level and he was down on the ground, on the floor level. And Torin was like, "Oh, I didn't know we was having a conversation." And then Philip was like, "Oh, well, I didn't schedule one, but that's what normal people do." Smart remark number one. And so as soon as Torin, he felt that shade. So what Torin did, he got out his measuring tape. He started like he was measuring something, because in that moment you don't really want to look a person directly in the eye that just came for you. It's like, ooh, let me do this real quick. Let me calm down, collect myself. Philip started up again. He was just like, yeah, he started talking, saying, "Well, I'm Torin," and Philip, "Oh, I usually look people straight in the eye when I'm talking to them." Strike number two. And so, it just was an exchange from there of slick, sly comments coming from Philip. Torrin explained himself and who he was. And he was trying to be personable to Philip. But Philip just kept making slick, sly comments. He Torrin said to him, "Well, since I just explained to you who I am, why don't you tell me who you are?" Philip goes, "Oh, well, I don't have to tell you anything because I'm not the one trying to apply for a job." Strike three. And then Torrin was like, "Well, neither am I. I'm hired on." And it was just, it was ugly and unnecessary. I was reading a lot of the comments on this particular episode. There's a lot of people like Philip. I do think a personality like Philip is necessary in business, but you still have to be relatable in some way. You still have to be personable in some way. You don't have to be nasty to people for them to get the job done. It's just it's not gonna work because yes, that person might get fired or you might fire them, but you're gonna get your ass whooped as they walk out the door. And if it's worth it to you, then fine. Keep taking the ass whoopings. But it's just, you just can't talk to people any kind of way, Philip. You just can't. What's going on with you, Philip? There's something going on with Philip deep down that he needs to unleash, because I don't feel like he's just a complete asshole. There's something that happened to him. Maybe in his last job there was something. Maybe somebody told him, maybe he was seen as too soft, or maybe because he's gay, maybe he feels like he has to be so stern because people won't respect him, or something. I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comment section what y'all think about Philip, in general. But I'm enjoying the show, Kandi. Yeah. With that said, I'm MrChalaki. MrChalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at ItsKingsworld on Instagram and Twitter. At ItsKingsworld89 on Snapchat. Chase King on Facebook. MrChalaki on Cash App and PayPal. And as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys later.